When I tell you I don't believe in the supernatural, I mean it. I'm the kind of person who looks for the logical explanation first. Bad wiring, a trick of the light, or maybe I just need more sleep. But what happened in my house last week doesn't fit into logic. It started with something small. I was brushing my teeth late at night, staring into the bathroom mirror when I froze. My reflection wasn't brushing its teeth. It wasn't even moving. It was just staring back at me. My skin was pale, my lips were blue, and my eyes were dull and lifeless. I looked dead. I jumped, shook my head, and when I looked again, the reflection was normal. I told myself it was stress, exhaustion, maybe just a trick of tired eyes. But then it happened again the next morning. This time in the mirror hanging by the front door. Only now, my reflection didn't blink. It lay still, as if lifeless, while I stood there alive and breathing. My heart started racing. One by one, I checked the mirrors throughout the house. Every single one of them showed me dead. Motionless, lifeless, hauntingly still. Except for one, the small oval mirror in the hallway. In that one, my reflection moved as it should, perfectly normal. I didn't know what to think. Was it a prank? Some kind of strange hallucination? Why only one mirror? Why not all? I couldn't shake the chill crawling up my spine, the way my breath seemed to vanish from my chest every time I stared into the lifeless version of myself. I started to wonder, was it just showing me the future? Was I seeing the moment of my death? Or worse, was something else wearing my reflection, showing me what it wanted me to see? The fear wasn't just about the mirrors anymore. It was about the house itself. Was it trying to tell me something? Or was it trying to trap me? That night, I gathered every bit of courage I had and walked back to the one safe mirror. I stared into it, desperate for answers. For once, my reflection stared back at me normally. But just as I turned to leave, something happened that I can't explain. My reflection smiled, and I didn't. I didn't sleep that night. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw that grin, the version of me in the hallway mirror, smiling when I hadn't. It wasn't just creepy. It was wrong. It felt like something alive was watching me from the other side of the glass. I sat on the couch until the sky turned gray with dawn, replaying memories, searching for anything in my past that could explain this. And the truth is, mirrors have always made me uneasy. Even as a kid, I'd avoid looking too long, afraid I'd catch something staring back. My grandmother used to warn me, half jokingly, that mirrors remember what we forget. At the time, I thought it was just one of her strange superstitions. But now those words echoed louder than ever. Over the years, I collected mirrors without even realizing it. Small ones from flea markets, an ornate frame from an old house clearance, even a cracked one I found left on the curb. I thought I was decorating, filling empty spaces. But now, looking around, my home felt like a trap, a cage of glass. And every reflection was showing me a version of myself that wasn't alive. Except one. That oval mirror. I tried to think rationally. Maybe it was all in my head. Maybe I was projecting stress. But if it was just my imagination, why was it so consistent? Why was every mirror showing me dead? And more than that, why did only one mirror show me alive? By afternoon, I couldn't resist testing it again. I stood in front of the bathroom mirror, forcing myself to stare. My reflection lay there, pale and lifeless. I raised my arm. Nothing. No movement, just a corpse staring back. My stomach twisted. I ran down the hallway to the oval mirror, and instantly, there I was, moving, breathing, alive. I leaned closer, whispering, "Why you? Why only you?" Of course, it didn't answer. But the longer I stared, the more I felt it watching me with a kind of awareness. Like the mirror itself was conscious, protecting me from whatever the others were showing. But protecting me from what? From a truth? Or from something far worse? That night, I covered every mirror in the house with bed sheets and blankets. Every single one except the oval mirror. I couldn't bring myself to cover it. I needed it. It was the only thing that reassured me I wasn't already gone. But lying in bed, I started to hear noises. A faint tapping, like fingernails on glass. At first, I thought it was the wind. But then it spread, tap, 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 from every room where a mirror had been covered. And I realized something terrifying. Just because I couldn't see them didn't mean they couldn't see me. By the third night, the tapping had grown bolder. It wasn't just faint knocks anymore. It was scratching. Long, dragging sounds that made the hair on my arms stand straight. I knew I should ignore it, but fear has a way of pulling you closer to the very thing you're trying to avoid. I found myself creeping down the hallway with a flashlight in hand, stopping at one of the covered mirrors. The fabric over it trembled, as though something on the other side was trying to push through. I didn't dare uncover it. Not yet. During the day, I started avoiding my house as much as possible, spending hours in coffee shops or wandering the park just to feel normal again. But the problem followed me. I caught glimpses in reflective surfaces I couldn't avoid, shop windows, puddles, even the glare on my phone screen. Each time, I saw that same pale, lifeless version of myself. It didn't matter where I went. The dead reflection followed. It was beginning to eat away at me. Was this a curse? A hallucination? Or was I really already dead, walking around in denial, clinging to the oval mirror because it was the only lie I had left? That thought nearly broke me. I called my sister, half hoping she'd laugh it off and give me some ground to stand on. Instead, she said something that made my blood run cold. Grandma used to say our family carried something in the glass. That's why she smashed every mirror in her house before she died. I froze. I had never noticed that. I'd spent summers at her place and thought she was just eccentric. No mirrors, not even in the bathroom. Just polished metal where reflections were distorted. Maybe she hadn't been paranoid. Maybe she had been protecting herself. I told my sister what was happening, but she grew quiet, then whispered, "Don't trust the one that moves." That's the trick. And then she hung up. Her warning clawed at me. Was the oval mirror really protecting me? Or was it the one luring me closer? The days blurred together. My sleep vanished. I avoided mirrors, but I couldn't escape the knowledge that every one of them held something waiting for me. In the oval mirror, the one I thought was safe, I started noticing small things that didn't line up. Sometimes my reflection would blink slower than me, or it would smile faintly when I wasn't. That's when the moral dilemma set in. Should I smash them all and risk losing my only safe mirror? Or should I hold on to the oval one, even though it might be lying to me? The scratching noises returned that night, louder, desperate. I stood in the hallway, flashlight shaking in my hand, staring at the covered mirrors. My chest tightened with dread. Then from behind the oval mirror, I heard it, a whisper. My own voice calling my name. I couldn't ignore it anymore. The whispering from the oval mirror grew louder every night. Sometimes it was my voice. Other times it was a voice that sounded almost like mine, but wrong. Slower. Heavier. Like something learning to speak through my mouth. I kept replaying my sister's warning in my head. Don't trust the one that moves. But if that was true, then what was left? Every other mirror showed me dead. This one showed me alive. If it wasn't real, then maybe I wasn't either. By now, I barely slept. My nerves were raw, every sound in the house snapping through me like static. I started noticing little things, things I couldn't explain. Footsteps echoing half a second after mine. The sound of breathing in an empty room. And once, late at night, I passed the covered bathroom mirror and swore I saw the sheet bulge outward, like someone pressing their face against it from the other side. I want to smash them all. I even held a hammer in my hand, standing in the hallway. But something stopped me. What if destroying the mirrors destroyed me? What if they weren't showing the future, but holding it back? I lowered the hammer, trembling. The next morning, I tried again to reach my sister. She didn't answer. Instead, her voicemail picked up. But it wasn't her voice on the recording. It was mine, my exact voice, whispering the same thing I had heard behind the oval mirror. Come closer. I dropped the phone. That night, the house erupted with sound. Scratching, knocking, a chorus of whispers bleeding through every covered mirror. My name repeated over and over. The sheets fluttered violently, as though hands were clawing beneath them. I stumbled backward, clutching the flashlight, heart hammering against my ribs. And then silence. I turned, slowly, toward the oval mirror. My reflection was waiting. Not moving, not breathing, just waiting. I leaned in, almost against my will. Its lips curled into that same faint smile. And then, for the first time, it moved differently. It raised its hand before I could, pressed it flat against the glass. My breath caught. A hairline crack spread from the center of the mirror. Just a whisper of sound. Then another. Then another. The glass trembled as if it were alive, straining to shatter. I stumbled back, my flashlight flickering. The covered mirrors on both sides of the hallway shook violently, sheets lifting as though pulled by unseen hands. I couldn't tell where to look. Every direction was danger. Every reflection was reaching for me. The oval mirror whispered again, louder this time. My own voice, clear and sharp. Let me in. And then a second voice joined in. Not mine. Not human. The cracks in the oval mirror spread like lightning veins across the glass, each one splitting with a sharp pop. My reflection pressed harder, its smile stretching wider, inhuman. I stumbled backward, hands shaking when my phone buzzed in my pocket. It was my sister. Her voice came through fast, urgent, terrified. Don't touch it. Don't let it break. If it gets out, it won't just take you. It'll take everything. But before I could reply, another sound overlapped hers on the line. My own voice, echoing her words back at me, mocking. The call cut to static. I froze. Something wasn't right. My sister's words didn't match her earlier warning. She had told me not to trust the moving reflection, but now she was telling me to protect the mirror. Which was it? Was she trying to save me? Or trick me? The scratching from the covered mirrors grew violent. Sheets Tula, fragments of pale, unmoving versions of me pushed against the fabric. Dozens of lifeless reflections trying to crawl into my world. I swung the flashlight wildly, the beam catching flashes of my own dead eyes staring back at me from behind the cloth. I turned back to the oval mirror. The cracks widened, splintering, and for the first time I saw beyond the glass. Not a reflection. A place. Dark. Endless. Filled with mirrors floating in blackness, each holding a different version of me. Some dead, some alive, some twisted beyond recognition. And at the center, my reflection spoke. Clear. Confident. I'm not the copy. You are. The words hit harder than any sound I'd heard yet. My stomach dropped, every memory flashing in fragments. What if I was never the original? What if I was the shadow that slipped out, living a borrowed life, while the real me was still trapped behind the glass? The phone buzzed again. My sister's voice, broken and frantic. It already fooled me once. Please, listen. Don't believe anything it says. If it convinces you, it wins. But how could I know which voice to trust? The sister who vanished when I needed her? The reflection that moved when I didn't? Or myself, who suddenly couldn't be sure I was real at all? The glass shuddered violently, ready to shatter. My reflection leaned closer, lips almost touching the glass, eyes burning with something alive. Let me out, or take my place. The house went dark. The house shook with the weight of everything pressing in. Glass creaked and splintered. My reflection leaned closer, whispering like a lover at the edge of the glass. Switch with me. You don't belong here. I wanted to deny it. I wanted to scream that I was real. But the truth gnawed at me. Every mirror had shown me dead. Every mirror except one. If I really was alive, why did only that single reflection move? I raised the hammer again, sweat dripping down my hands. Smashed the mirrors in this nightmare. But the voice on the phone, my sister, echoed in my head. If it gets out, it won't just take you. It'll take everything. My chest tightened. I had to choose, protect myself or protect the world. The mirrors around me split open with deafening cracks. Sheets fell away, and lifeless versions of me spilled forward, dragging themselves across the floor like broken marionettes. Their eyes were hollow, but fixed on me. I stumbled backward, my heel hitting the base of the oval mirror. The glass wavered, thinner than water, and I saw it. Another me, the same face but alive, desperate, pounding against the other side. Not smiling, not mocking, just begging. And I understood. The smiling version wasn't me. It was never me. It was what had been hiding behind the reflections, using my face to draw me closer. But the one pounding? That was me. The me that had been trapped ever since I first looked too long into the wrong mirror. The hammer shook in my hand. My mind screamed. But in that moment, clarity cut through the noise. If I stayed, the thing would take my life. If I broke the mirror, it might escape. There was only one option left. I pressed my palm to the glass, directly against the desperate reflection's hand. For a heartbeat, nothing happened. Then the surface rippled, pulling me through like ice giving way. I gasped, and suddenly I was standing on the other side. Cold, dark, surrounded by endless mirrors. I turned just in time to see the smiling thing wearing my body step in my world. It looked back at me once and whispered with my voice, "Thank you." Then the glass sealed. I slammed my fist against it, screaming, but no sound escaped. On the other side, my house grew quiet, my body moving freely as though nothing had happened. My phone lit up with a call. My sister's name. And for the first time, the thing answered in my voice. Calm. Human. Perfect. No one would ever know the difference. The house is quiet now. From the outside, everything looks normal. The curtains drawn, the lights dimmed, the air heavy with silence. But inside, something has shifted. I press my hands against the glass until my palms ache, but it doesn't matter. The world beyond feels impossibly far. I can see my body moving in it, controlled by the smiling reflection. It answers the phone, speaks in my voice, carries itself with my gestures. To my sister, to anyone who visits, it will look like nothing ever happened. And yet, I know the truth. I am the truth. Here, in this endless hall of mirrors, time feels different. Shadows flicker where my dead reflections crawl, but they no longer lunge at me. They just watch, hollow and resigned, as if they too once fought and failed. I realize now, I'm not the first. I will not be the last. The thing wears me well. Too well. It laughs with my laughter. It comforts with my words. It lives my life while I am locked away in silence. My family will never question it, because how could they? Who would ever believe that a mirror could lie? And maybe that is the cruelest part of all, being erased not by death but by imitation. Still, as the emptiness closes in, a strange calm settles over me. If this is where I remain, then let my story be the warning. Not all reflections belong to us. Not all mirrors are safe. When you stand before glass and see yourself looking back, ask the question, is it really me? Or something waiting to take my place? Because one day, if you stare too long, it might answer. I step back from the oval mirror that still shows the house beyond. The smiling thing is there, now alone, staring back at me. Its grin is faint, almost gentle, but I can see the malice behind it. For a long moment, we simply watch each other. Then it raises a finger to its lips, a silent shushing gesture, and turns away. I whisper into the void, though no one will hear. The scariest monsters are not the ones we see in the dark. They're the ones who look exactly like us in the light. And maybe that's the truth that matters most. So if you're listening, if you've ever felt uneasy staring into your reflection, don't ignore it. Don't dismiss the chill crawling up your spine. Pay attention, because once the mirror chooses you, there may be no way back. And if I can't escape, then let my words be the escape for someone else. Don't let the glass claim you too.